Alan Rickman is one of our most gifted actors. See him in Love Actually, see him in Die Hard, of course, but more to the point at hand, see him in Sweeney Todd, one of the best adaptations of a musical you're likely to see. It's good to see you again.
And you?
Well, how good are you watching yourself on screen? Because you come from the stage, and that some actors don't watch their work on screen, and sometimes they'll say, oh, I have to do that because I learn and evolve.
No, if I have to go with a gun to my head. To watch myself. Yeah.
Even if you don't watch rushes during shooting?
Never. Because
you think it'll change your performance? It'll make you self-conscious?
Because I would think I'd be joining in the throng to fire that actor, whoever he is.
Is that because of the uncertainty of the business? Because there are no longer studio contracts and things like that? Or is it just that you just want to get on with the work and get it done?
Well, that, but also just watching yourself is such a weird thing to do, just as an idea. And what you see up on a screen is always a million miles away from what you imagine you're doing.
And you're remembering the day that scene was shot, and years later, if you see, you see your old movies?
No.
Maybe you're not old enough. Maybe someday you will. Why is it, and I'm not saying this because you're here, I did not like it on Broadway, Sweeney Todd. Even though it was with Angela Lansbury and Len Cariou, I thought, who wants to see a musical about a guy who slits people? And then I saw it on screen, and I said to myself that these are the only actors I could see on the role in the screen version, and it's also the only director who has such a twisted outlook on the world who could make this movie. It's a different production, different cast.
Well, yeah, but I would say that it's a shame you didn't see. I didn't see Angela Lansbury, but that was a kind of legendary performance. But shame you didn't see Patti LuPone and Michael Savage. Oh, you did? Well, I thought they were wonderful.
Yeah, it's just the work. I mean, when you're making a movie like this, it was done kind of in blue sepia tones, and then there are parts of it are in color, but then it goes back to that, and it's just did you dress differently? Are your outfits different? Or is that the director's problem and not yours?
Well, the conversations about costume were very crucial to the whole piece, and Colleen Atwood, I think, has done an amazing, amazing job. I think the whole film is incredible. It's, for once in my life, I can watch a movie that I'm in and be quite objective about it. I think it's a work of genius.
Visually, it's astonishing. We're coming up on the 100th birthday of the birth of Sir Rex Harrison. Never played Shakespeare. I can't take the time now to mention all the Shakespearean roles you've done. Is that a requirement for just about it? I mean, is that a serious void in his resume, or is he the exception, particularly for a classical actor or an English actor?
I don't think there's a void in Rex Harrison's resume.
I know that,
really.
But I'm talking he'd be the exception that you don't play Shakespeare. Playing Shakespeare is good for whatever role will follow, right?
Well, it's like, going to the acting gym, I suppose, in many ways. It's... what do you want to do? Just kind of put out versions of one personality? I suppose that's one option as an actor, or you test yourself against really great material. I think it's the same with Sweeney Todd. Stephen Sondheim writes seriously great lyrics, as well as, of course, writing amazing music. So you're absolutely tested.
Because his lyrics tell a story, and they tell the story quicker than almost anybody else. And he also he writes songs that are not a slave to any convention, of musical convention. No. If he wants to go in a certain area, he goes right there.
The only problem is you want to go and rewind all the time. Go, wait a minute, I want to hear that line again.
Now, what about you singing? That's not been a major force of your career. Were you concerned at all?
Never be again.
Were you concerned at all? I mean, you had to lip sync, I'm told. It's the way it was shot initially, right? I mean, that's not easy to do either.
No, it all becomes a different test, I suppose. There's, first of all, Stephen Sondheim walking into a room and saying, okay, let's hear it. You think, oh, well, I'll either get fired or I won't. So I didn't get fired. So
and that's why you're
then
here.
You have to work at it a bit. Then you record it, and then what a relief that is, because it's done. And then you just have to listen to it over and over and over again for 8 hours.
The last time you were here, this is how long it's been, you directed the Winter Guest.
The movie,
right,
yeah.
Now, has that changed you as an actor?
Is that really the last time?
Yeah, we want you back. Does that change you as an actor, because you can empathize more with the director, or were you always in sync with the problems of the director?
I think it's you're just a different animal, and you don't have to go to makeup at 6 o'clock in the morning, and that's a huge relief. You can look like at that time in the morning, and nobody cares.
You have been such a good villain over the years. I mean, from everything you've done, a lot of the villainous roles are so yours. Yet there's also, and you've been smart enough to play likable roles too. Love Actually is one of the best Christmas movies of recent years. Is it a relief when they come to you for other things too, or they?
I suppose, you know, you look, I guess you and I look down different ends of the telescope because, I don't know, the last 2 films I did, but, you know, some of them are smaller movies and don't get so much publicity. Sweeney Todd, of course, has me sitting here talking to you. There's a movie coming out at Sundance called Bottle Shock, and I couldn't be nicer in that. So.
And you play a character, by the way, you wouldn't know this. You play a character named Steven Spurrier, right?
I do.
Who is a famous American football player, by the way.
Oh,
I just want you to know. And a coach, yes, so you'll know. Heisman Trophy winner. So maybe they'll bring him to the...
That means maybe that the real Steven Spurrier can't sue me. The English one, I mean. Because I'll just say, no, I'm not playing you. I'm playing a baseball.
Football.
Oh, sorry,
American football,
okay.
all right? You played Quigley Down Under. You were the villain in that. And that's kind of a Western. It was done in Australia. Were you a little boy like every American boy wants to play in a Western?
Certainly. What English actor gets to stand in a corral with his hands either side of the guns and a big black hat on?
And get paid for it.
Dreams.
Wouldn't have happened if you'd had a career in graphic design, would it?
It would have been more difficult.
This is Alan Rickman. The movie is Sweeney Todd, and visually and every other way, it'll knock you out of your seats. Come back again soon, will you?
Well, thank you. Nice to see you.